We are just weeks away from starting a whole new year, 2025. And we got a lot of stuff that is already happening in the pro wrestling world. So today I'm going to break down 10 things that I'm really looking forward to in pro wrestling for the year 2025. And I also hope that you guys will let me know in the comment section below which things you're really looking forward to next year. So let's get right to it. Number one, WWE moving to Netflix and AEW on HBO Max. Of course, these are in no particular order, but I wanted to get started off with a bang because next year, the landscape of pro wrestling is going to look a little bit different. And what comes from it is going to be very exciting to see. So, of course, we all know that WWE Raw is premiering on Netflix, but on top of that, we also got AEW is going to start simulcasting on HBO Max, which is really, really huge. So 2025 is really going to be the year of pro wrestling streaming going in a whole new direction. Of course, streaming in wrestling is nothing new. We had the WWE Network, we had them appearing on the Peacock and stuff like that. So we already know that this is not something totally new. However, because of how big Netflix and Max are, these are two big opportunities to see hopefully some more buzz in pro wrestling. At least that's what I'm hoping for, which is kind of crazy to say because right now it really feels like we're in this like new boom, especially for WWE right now, where it really feels like a hot product. But I'm really excited to see what the outcome of that is going to look like. Are they going to generate new fans? And also, what cool things are we going to be seeing with those collaborations? Specifically speaking, with WWE Raw on Netflix. Netflix is so freaking massive. And I mean, almost everybody that I know has Netflix. And let me know if you guys have Netflix in the comments. I know there's going to be a couple of people that are like, no, I don't have it. But the majority of people, it's like they will go and they will watch like so much different stuff that's on Netflix. So I'm curious to see what that's going to look like for pro wrestling. That's going to be live streaming each and every single week. I'm excited to see WWE stars look even bigger, especially with the promotion of Netflix. Netflix promoting WWE and really pushing their stars is going to be massive. So that's something that I cannot wait to see. And then for HBO and AEW, that's also huge because not only is AEW going to be on Max, but they're still going to be on TBS and TNT. So we're going to be seeing a simulcasting, which means you're not going to lose this audience that you already have, but through HBO Max, you can hopefully gain some new audiences. So it's going to be super exciting to see the pro wrestling world with the streaming world times 10 in 2025. Number two, John Cena's retirement tour. So we all know that 2025 is it. That is it. No more John Cena in ring after this, which is kind of crazy to even think about, especially because so many of us, including myself, grew up with John Cena and seeing John Cena become who he is now. And so getting to say goodbye to him in this way, I think is super freaking cool. I actually love the way that John Cena is choosing to say goodbye to the fans, at least as an active pro wrestler, because we're going to get to see him in his last, WrestleMania, his last, all of these different pay per views, and then also some last matches with either some people from the past but also some people that he hasn't wrestled yet. And I'm excited to see what that is going to look like, who is going to get an opportunity to wrestle John Cena for the very last time. So I feel that through John Cena's retirement tour, every match is going to really mean something in the sense that fans are going to be excited to see like who got lucky, who got chosen to have a feud, to have a match, to have anything with John Cena in his last and final run. So I'm expecting fireworks all across the board. And in terms of who I want to see John Cena face, of course, we have some big ones. We got CM Punk, That's definitely one. Randy Orton, circle back to that again. And then on top of that, you got the opportunity to do John Cena, Cody Rhodes. That's definitely something that I would want to see. I kind of feel like I want to see John Cena versus like a bunch of people. Of course, I have to throw out Gunther, Jacob Fatu. I think that would be great. There's so many fun ones that I'm not even thinking of right now, but I personally feel like John Cena's retirement is going to be something that each and every single month we are going to be like a little bit more appreciative of it because we're going to know that that's it. Like, this is the final run for that. Number three, WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. All right, so I'm super stoked for this for a couple of reasons. One, I mean, of course, it's WrestleMania, so that's kind of a given. But the big one is Las Vegas, baby. All right, I love Las Vegas. I have talked about this multiple times in other videos, but I think that my as a person who gets to travel for work to all of these wrestling events, there are some cities that I go to where I'm like, oh, this is my first time here and there's really nothing to see or do. And it could kind of be boring, right? And you're just like there waiting, like, when's the wrestling show gonna start? Because I kind of got nothing to do. However, scratch that. Not in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, there is going to be so freaking much to do. I mean, you can not only do you have the whole aspect of Las Vegas, which is the casinos and all of the entertainment venues and things that they have of that sort, but also Las Vegas is going to be, I think, a lot easier to go to multiple wrestling events as well. Because there are some cities where, yeah, they'll try to put certain places like nearby each other, but you still got to drive, right? You still got to go places. And so, because you have to drive to certain venues, sometimes you can't attend all of these wrestling events. And you got to understand, if you've never been part of a WrestleMania weekend, there are so many freaking events. There's dinners, there's meet and greets, there's live podcasts, big indie shows, small indie shows, conventions. There's all of these random things that happen. And I feel like even more so every year, we're starting to see more and more events during that time. So honestly, like, it's really like a buffet of things to do. So the cool thing that I wanted to get at in particular with Las Vegas is that it's a strip. Right? It's a strip. So it's a lot easier to get to more shows and to check more things off of your WrestleMania weekend bucket list. And so that has got me like so freaking excited, right? And remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Also, the other reason is those WrestleMania main events, everyone. I was just talking about this on my SmackDown podcast, but I really, really feel like this WrestleMania feels like very open ended, where I feel like there are so many different possibilities for some very cool main events. You don't know what those main events are going to be. Earlier, I mentioned John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Can you imagine if that was the WrestleMania match for Cody Rhodes against John Cena? Oh, like, let that sink in for a second. I really think that that could be a strong possibility. We also have the possibility of, since I'm on Cody Rhodes possibilities for WrestleMania. John Cena, The Rock is another one. I don't think they'll run back Roman Reigns, but I'll just throw that one out there just in case. But I don't think they're going to run that back again for a third year in a row. And then on Roman Reigns' side of things, you also have Roman Reigns versus potentially The Rock versus potentially Seth Rollins versus potentially who the hell knows who else? Hell, throw in John Cena in there at this point. And then you also have CM Punk. CM Punk, who is still dying to get his WrestleMania main event. Well, what about CM Punk versus Seth Rollins? What about CM Punk versus I don't know, Gunther? That would be huge too. So there are so many different possibilities there too. And then you have the women's stuff. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. That would be, that's kind of something that I think fans are definitely waiting for. But what I'm trying to get at is that I'm excited about 2025 WrestleMania, mainly because we do have so many options on the table about what matches we could end up seeing. And did I mention Roman versus Rock? I feel like I mentioned that, but I'm not sure. I got to throw that in there just in case. I don't even remember if I mentioned it because, again, there are so many different possibilities, man. So that's what I'm excited for. Number four, the first two night SummerSlam event is taking place in 2025. Now, earlier I was kind of mentioning all of these possible WrestleMania main events, right? Well, of course, you're not going to be able to do all of them. We know that. But two nights of SummerSlam is going to have to sell out. Of course, WWE is a hot ticket. We've mentioned this, but to sell two nights of SummerSlam, that's definitely going to be a good little task that they're going to have for themselves. But again, given just the star power and the potential big matches, of course, John Cena's retirement, that is something that I think is going to be an exciting time period. So, right now, with Netflix, with the big events that they have coming up, I really, really feel like 2025 is going to just be an overall electric year for pro wrestling. Number five, Goldberg's last match. Now, I know some people are going to be like, boo, boo, Denise, for mentioning Goldberg. All right, everyone. Regardless about how you feel about Goldberg, you cannot deny that this man had a very, very legendary pro wrestling career. Of course, most of it in WCW. Regardless, you cannot deny that. And so we are going to be seeing him have his last and final match. And I think for the most part, we are all expecting for that person to be Gunther. In fact, I have a feeling that Goldberg's already expecting it to be Gunther, and Gunther's probably already expecting it to be Goldberg. So I do hope they stick with that. And I love to honor people's careers. Earlier this year, we got to see Sting and his in ring wrestling career, and it was a very emotional time period. And so we're going to see it this year with John Cena. We're going to see it this year with Goldberg. And at the end of the day, whether or not you're a fan of somebody, these people go out and put their lives on the line. So I'm so excited to see both of those careers, obviously, have their last final moments in ring. And it's good that they're able to have it on their own terms because not a lot of people get to do that. Moving on, speaking of big events, number six, I'm going to have to talk about some really big AEW events that we're seeing. We're going to have Wrestle Dynasty in Tokyo, Japan at the start of the year. We're also going to be having Forbidden Door in London, England. I'm waving to the cat that's outside staring at me. Let me see if I can get a picture of him. Hold on. This cat's going to make a cameo. Look, check that out. Look at the kitty cat. You're going to come out of my video. He's like, nah, I don't want to be famous. Do you want to be famous? Chat, please. When you see this video, give this kitty cat a name. Bye-bye. All right, so speaking of AEW, big events, that's where I was at. Wrestle Dynasty Tokyo Dome, Forbidden Door London, England, and AEW all in Texas. Now, 2024 had a lot of really great AEW moments. However, it was a little bit rough in terms of the conversation surrounding AEW. What I hope for 2025 is that we kind of get back to talking about AEW being cool again, because I feel like right now the conversation surrounding AEW has been very negative, right? A little bit more negative than it used to be. Obviously, everybody, there's always going to be those haters. We know that. We know that. But there are people that are legitimate fans that aren't really feeling the product right now. I really, truly hope that 2025 AEW gets back to business and really gets the product hot once again. And I feel like with all of these big events that they already have announced, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see them in the Tokyo Dome, which is, of course, an iconic pro wrestling venue, but also the fact that this show is co-produced with New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, and Stardom. It's going to be very fun. And then, of course, it's happening during Wrestle Kingdom weekend. So it's all feels like a really cool event for wrestling fans. Then, of course, Forbidden Door in London. We've only seen All In London, so I'm curious to see what the dynamic of AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling will look like together in front of the London audience. And then AEW All In Texas. Yeehaw! All right, I cannot believe I just yeehawed. What is wrong with me? Cancel me right now for yeehawing. Hollywood Salcedo does not yeehaw. All right. So AEW All in Texas. I think that one's gonna be huge. I really want to see this like promoted super strongly. I want to see AEW look really good in Texas with a bunch of people and hopefully some very hot matches. Number 7. So the other thing that I'm excited for is seeing AEW stars jump to WWE, WWE stars to AEW, and TNA stars and all of these people. The reason why is I feel like this year we didn't have as many people jumping from promotion to promotion as we had some of the years prior. But personally, look, I kind of get excited when we see people jump from promotion to promotion. One, I love the drama, I love the chaos. I really do. But like in a good way. Anyways, but I love fresh matchups and I get excited when we see people in this brand new territory to see what they end up doing and how they do in each promotion. I'm excited to see some big contracts that are going to be coming up in 2025. Of course, one is Ricky Starks. Will he finally go to WWE? What is that going to look like? Hell, like, what's that going to look like? Honestly, Jordan Grace is another one. Will WWE pick her up? I'm pretty sure they will. But of course, pro wrestling, we can never fully predict anything. And those are just some top names off the top of my head. But it's going to be exciting to see how the landscape of freelancers, how the WWID program is going to look and affect all of this. Everything. Right now, WWE is very hot, but AEW, do not count them out. So I'm excited to see which wrestlers go where. And if we have a hot year of people bouncing around, we'll see. Number 8. The other thing that I'm really excited about is getting to see two titles really get their first full year of action because as we know, WWE recently introduced the Women's United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship. We are in the process currently of both of those tournaments unfolding. I'm shooting this video in November on Thanksgiving Day, so just a heads up. But anyway, so with in regards to those championships, I'm excited because this is going to be their first year fully active. Like we're going to be seeing what that championship picture for the US women's title and the Intercontinental women's title is going to look like. We're going to hopefully see some more bigger stories for the women, not just like the very top women, but the mid card women as well. We're going to hopefully see some new stars start to really blossom. We're going to see some people hopefully skyrocket and become even more popular. I thought this was a very good year. Speaking of star making years, I thought this was a really good year for Liv Morgan. I'll probably talk about that in a different video, but I want to see which women are going to really thrive with these championships and what these championships are going to look like in 2025. Number 9 is the continued growth of NXT. Shout out to my Tuesday peeps if you're watching this video. But NXT has also had this like new resurgence, right? Of course, everybody loved black and gold NXT, but then we kind of went into the Fruity Pebbles NXT 2.0 version, which not a lot of people loved, and people made fun of me for covering NXT, but here we are. And there's starting to be a more interest in NXT as of late. I've started to see the numbers go up for just overall interest in NXT from little things from like tweets to the post shows that I do to people talking about it and asking questions about the NXT product and being excited about the NXT wrestlers. And now we're in a place where people care about NXT once again, and that is very cool. I want to see them continue doing what they're doing with the women's division. I really want to see them get their men's division in order. So I hope they kind of, figure that whole thing out. But just overall, the continued success of NXT is something that I'm thoroughly looking forward to in 2025. And last but not least, this one's a little bit more of a selfish pick. Although I think they all might be a little selfish, but I think this one's my most selfish thing that I'm excited for. So, WWE International PLEs, they have been doing a lot more. I feel like every year they increase more and more. This year, we got to see them, of course, in Berlin, Germany, Glasgow, Scotland for Clash at the Castle. They also did Elimination Chamber in Perth. They had a bunch of shows in Canada. So they've really been just like branching out and going different places. Selfishly, I really, really want WWE to announce some more international PLEs, especially new places that I haven't been to, because I've started to use these as like a workcation type of thing. Because I get to, like, obviously, I try to go and cover the shows if I can to other locations. And for me, it's cool because I get to go and see other parts of the world that, I can't go to unless I'm working, right? I mean, I could go to, but it's expensive. But if I work, I kind of feel like it's justified a little bit, right? So I kind of selfishly want to see them do more international PLEs in at least some new cool places. Like, please, fingers crossed for like a hot Italian pay per view. Fingers crossed for like a hot Paris pay per view. Somewhere that I really want to go to. Let's hopefully do that. WWE, come on, come on, pick some cool places I haven't been to that I well, actually, I've been to Paris and Italy, but I really like those places and I kind of want to go again. But regardless, it's my excuse to go work, but also go to a new place that I haven't been to, or just go back and go to a place that I loved and eat food because that's kind of what I want to do. I just want to go to Paris and eat a baguette or an eclair and then go to Italy and stuff my face with pizza and pasta. That's all a girl wants. That's all the girl wants. But, anyways, that, my friends, are the 10 things that I'm really, really looking forward to in pro wrestling 2025. Please, in the comments section below, let me know if you feel the exact same way. If there are other things you're looking forward to, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and keep coming back here each and every single day for more pro wrestling content.